after games like this, I really don't feel anything, man. I don't feel anything. There was no real emotion that our games produce. Even when the game was 11 versus 11, it was a great start. We were testing from set pieces. Enzo, Reece James forcing some great saves. The intensity looks a bit good. We get the goal quite early. One of the best bits of team play you saw from us this whole game. Reece James' deflected cross in the end after he makes a run in behind after Caicedo plays a brilliant reverse ball to release Reece James. A bit of fortune, which was merited based on how we played, and the cross deliciously curves into the direction of Enzo Fernandez into an empty net. But what happened after we made it 1-0, as you normally see, this consistency with never upping the level, never upping the gears. After that moment, there was nothing. There was no pace, there was no nothing. And I see it time and time again. The lack of expression when we're on the ball. It's always just doing the safe option, playing the safe pass, doing what you're told to do on the touchline. There's no half turns, there's no injection of pace. There's no little combination plays to kind of funnel players into certain zones of the fields to free up other areas for our players. You don't see none of that. It's simply playing safe, pedestrian football. And you know what? We kind of deserve going down to 10 men. We deserved it. There was no shots on target. We're seeing a real lack of shots now in our last few games. João Pedro, yet again, working hard for what? To do F all. To not get any service, to get no deliveries, to get no nothing. Strikers suffer sometimes in this system. They do. I kept saying, don't think that João Pedro has been signed because he'll be getting 5 shots a game in a game like this. That's not the reality with this type of football we play. That's why we hired him specifically, because he can show quality with a lack of touches and a lack of the ball. But when your best player, your best attacking player, can't even influence the game with shots, what are you really doing? We deserve to go down to 10. We're not being serious. We deserve to go down to 10 men. Because I'm getting just sick and tired of just the lack of purpose, the lack of anything you see. And this inverted stuff sometimes, man, it has its purpose. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but my Lord, can it just be, it creates these one-note games that I was talking about a few days ago, man. And we end up being our worst enemy. Not from the stupid mistakes. Andre Santos caught in possession like that. His body shape completely wrong. Very uncharacteristic. And chalobah's being forced in a situation he didn't want to be in. And we're down to 10 men. But I think the biggest enemy for us, actually, especially in these last few games, has been Enzo Maresca. This has definitely been his weakest periods as our manager recently. Now, he's still quite young. He's a novice in this game. I'm not going to disrespect all the great things he's done for us. He has. But it's a reminder that this guy is still a novice in certain aspects, because if there's one thing that he's kind of showing now with the small little patterns that we're seeing with his decision making, is that the moment anything goes against the scripts and the game plan for us, he doesn't know what to do, really. He doesn't know what to do. He lacks that confidence. Yeah, sometimes in these moments, you need to have a feeling, an instinct for what the game needs. Control the moments, yeah? If we're taking the game to the final 10 minutes, final 5, then you make other defensive subs like maybe a Badia to add a bit more height to counter Welbeck. That's how you think in these moments. But the moment I saw this guy bring on Malo Gusto that quickly, I was like, I don't know, man. I had a sinking feeling. That this was not going to work, because we weren't going to be using a back 5. When do we ever do that? Using like wing backs in that? No. He was going to use this guy as an auxiliary winger. And I was thinking to myself, this is complete nonsense. You've cut out any type of supply, any support, any outlet that the team can have to cause some threat to Brighton, to get Brighton thinking, oh, hold on. Yeah, we got a man advantage right now, but we can't get too carried away against this Chelsea team. Look at the players they have. They're 1v1 against us, and they can still kill the game off at any moment. We didn't even give Brighton the luxury of having any panic or any worry. Because with the stupid subs he's making, you encourage two things from the opposition. You encourage them to step their lines up even more, because they don't have to worry about any counter threat in behinds. They're very safe with that. But number two for us, you killed every outlet. Turnover machines. All the subs he brought on that can win the ball back, they're winning the ball back to play it to who? Once we won the ball, what was the plan from then on? It's actually a bit baffling. It's a bit baffling, I have to say. You can make the arguments, Nini, listen, like Esteval is still young. You know what they're saying in the interviews, the kids is still adjusting to life physically, calm. But Garnacho and Gittins, guys, we splashed 100 million on. Everyone was telling me upgrades. Listen, if Noni was in the squad, you guarantee Enzo will be turning towards him. Is he not rating the new acquisitions? Is he not really feeling them like that? Because there seems to be real fear when it comes to turning towards using options like this to help us. I was really thinking maybe Neto on the right-hand side for Esteval, and then maybe Garnacho on the left-hand side. Or Gittins. But again, can these guys defend really? Maybe that's the fear from Enzo. He knows they can't. After seeing Garnacho's interesting cameo against Brentford, he also played that part to allow them to get the equaliser. It's a bit baffling. It is a bit baffling. But under Enzo Maresca, he continues to be our biggest op and our biggest worst enemy when we're down in any unfavorable position in a game. It's disappointing because for all the control we had, which is a bit sterile after that excellent maybe 15, 20 minutes, it was absolutely sterile after that. And we paid the price for having no purpose on the ball. Let's keep it real. Did nothing. There was no shots on target since the goal that we scored from Enzo Fernandez. That tells you everything you need to know. It's insane. It's disappointing. It's insane. It's getting boring. But this game kind of just summarized like every weakness that we have. When it comes to those last line decisions under pressure, we're continuously showing no real improvement compared to last season. None. I know Levi Core helps a big deal. Of course, injuries to certain men help. I get it. Even if you're like a Delap at times to him being an outlet could help us, fair enough. The details aren't fully there. But there's still enough. And when you have a lead in a game, that means you have control. And it's up to the manager to control the outcome to the best of his abilities. And he did not do that today. The subs were baffling. Gusto comes on to replace James in the final 5-10 minutes, bro. That's how you're doing it, yeah? That's what the purpose of him is. To take off Esteval, to take off all the attacking outlets out wide, giving us no purpose, no danger. Every time Cuyper or Enzo or just weird players are receiving in advanced positions, they lose the ball 2 seconds later. And boom, Brighton encouraged to attack and attack. And this is why we lost to them, ultimately. They get the equaliser through Minter. I said, one of the most informed players for the start of this season goes by Gusto like he's not there. Explodes away. Stop start. World-class delivery to Welbeck and then Hatzor. Listen, his first game playing the Levi Corbell role, there was some merit to what he did at times. A little bit. It's his first game. He's 19. Listen, we have all the potential, all the kids, but does that mean they're there right now? We basically signed players that needs at least a year or two to show, boom, like we're ready for Prem. That's what we did after the window that we had. Yeah? It doesn't matter about the talent and potential. Like, they're still kids, they're still humans. They still need to grow confidence in their game, adjust, acclimatize. There's all these details and facets, yeah? I think maybe Maresca knows this. This is why I think you're seeing this analysis paralysis from him when it comes to showing this reluctance to really want to turn towards youth. And listen, for all of us on the sidelines, yeah, it's easy for us to be like, how is Achimpong not starting? Why is this guy not starting? But let's not act like these are guys that are ready to show the qualities immediately to make an instant impact. Let's not make that mistake, bro. Let's not make that mistake and fool ourselves into thinking it's really that simple. Yeah? I'm complaining about the tactics today that undermined everything we did to lose control of this game. But I'm not forgetting the fact that there is still a lot of naivety, which is expected when you sign so many youngers for the team. You let go of all the little experience we had left in the summer to bring in youngers that need like the same time as the last batch of youngers that we just let go to get used to things at the club. Is mad. And, you know, Welbeck in front of everyone. Easy goal for him. And things were just getting worse after that. You know, we were getting pushed back a bit more. And you could just also see the lack of confidence in the players. Stupid decisions being made. Incredible decisions being made at times. It's a shame that we didn't have the control to even bring this game to a draw at least. Yeah? Once you saw 11 minutes added on, you know it was dark. It was dark, bro. It was dark. Some of the goals, bro. Cuyper's making it 2-1. I was looking at that defensive line to deal with the cross all over the place. You know, you got certain guys trying to play guys offside whilst the guy at the far post and the near post is playing Brighton on. Obviously, Brighton clocked okay. Back post cross, and then we're going to play it to the near post with a header flick on. And someone's going to take advantage of that. And they did. It was easy. And right at the end, the calamity, just to add insult to injury, which we deserve. We deserve this humbling and the embarrassment today. Robert Sanchez, I mean, when this guy's head's not in it, like he really makes some crazy decisions. Playing that pass with all that pressure from Brighton to no one, not to no one's stronger foot to even play out. It wasn't really there. At the same time, you know, you can make an argument that the manager, as we've known, encourages playing out from the back. And realistically, who's he going to play it long to? Like, there's no Delap up front. Who's he going to play it long to realistically? So it's a lose-lose when there's no outlets. It's a lose-lose. Listen, he played a part with the wrong decision-making, but still with the carelessness from James and Achimpong and everyone else. Achimpong could have cleared it under pressure. These are the little details, you know? But again, I just feel like with so many changes that was made, you know, you're bringing on Gusto, you're bringing on Lavia and Badia Shil, which surprised me, 100% surprised me. You know, in that moment of the game as well too, it just encourages confusion. I've always hated when defensive subs come on, and I actually remember this from a famous game we played under Mourinho when we played Bayern Munich in the Super Cup, and I remember that pain of that Martinez late equalizer that came from came from nowhere, because I think they won on penalties, if I can remember. Or did they win the game in the final moments? Bro, I top of my head right now, I can't remember the details, but I just remember conceding late on, and I was like, raw, this is our fault, because Mourinho brought on another defender. And when you're used to defending in a 4 the whole game, and now there's 5, and now there's a new guy here that you have to kind of readdress the balance. There's like a moment of adjusting that you need to have in the game to get used to what you're doing now, and it doesn't exist. So for us, you know, we just kind of exasperated our own issues with the decisions that we made. Achimpong, Badia, Lavia, Gusto. To what end? To what end? To what avail? To what utility? Yeah, man, it's dark. You know, we got Benfica next. I'm having question marks on if we're even capable of doing weekend Prem duties and midweek CL duties. I don't think so. I don't think we have it in us like that, if I'm being honest with you. And then after that, Liverpool at home, probably at the wrong time. It's not looking encouraging, man. It's not looking great right now. But that's pretty much everything I got to say after this just emotionless, like disappointing week. Pathetic performance today, boys. Share your thoughts and opinions on how you're feeling. I'm not really feeling much of anything right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys, yeah? Cool.